Hello everyone. In this video, you will see a review of the Pipsin rubber dominant spin hard from the German company Dr. Neubauer. And we will also compare it with the Chinese rubber DHS Hurricane 3 National Orange Sponge 39. Spin hard is a hybrid type of rubber. It combines the properties of a tensor and a sticky rubber. By the way, we already have a comparative review of the dominant spin and dominant speed rubbers with softer sponges on our channel. The link is on the screen and below this video. The surface of spin hard remains the same, but the sponge is different. Dominant spin has a 38-degree sponge, while spin hard has a 47-degree sponge. In other words, the sponge on spin hard is harder. The Hurricane has a 39-degree sponge. But it must be understood that the degrees of hardness are evaluated differently by each company. For example, a 39-degree sponge from DHS feels quite stiff when you press it with your finger and bounce a ball off it. In contrast, a 47-degree sponge from Dr. Neubauer feels quite soft compared to the DHS sponge. We will test these rubbers on a very controlled OFF blade without carbon. So, what are the impressions of the pushing? Of course, pushing is not a particularly interesting element of an attacking rubber. The main thing is to hit the table, and that's enough. In Hurricane, compared to spin hard, the ball flies off the table more often. It is faster, but it has good control, of course. It's an excellent rubber. Spin hard is slower, but has more control. The ball stays on the racket for a long time, allowing you to handle it well and direct it accurately. It's quite comfortable to execute short or long chops in a place that is inconvenient for the opponent. I even tried to defend. I'm not a defender, I can't defend. But I immediately managed to hit the table with defense. I could return strong backspin and weak backspin, causing my opponent to make mistakes. I'll briefly say that spin hard is suitable for counter drive. The ball stays on the surface of the racket for quite a long time. There's a lot of control, so you want to strengthen and hit more powerfully. If you like to make flat shots, you will like this rubber. The Hurricane is primarily a rubber for topspin. It's also very pleasant to make topspins of any type and speed with spin hard. There's a lot of control. The ball lands on the table. The Hurricane is faster, making it harder to hit the table. It's a fantastic rubber, but only for those who already have the technique and are good at making topspins. In general, both of these rubbers are excellent for aggressive topspin play. They can also be used for backhand. Opening attack. I'll be brief. Both rubbers perform excellently. Spin hard has more control. You can make short attacks, or you can open an attack powerfully. I like the block more from spin hard. You can add spin, the opponent won't notice and will make a mistake. You can press flat and get a lower trajectory. You can move the ball along the line or diagonally. You can relax your hand and make a shortened block. So, spin hard provides more possibilities because of better control. Hurricane can do all of this too, but it requires a higher level of technique. Both rubbers are excellent in counterattacking against topspin. This is their strength. Just move your arm forward and the ball flies onto the table. You can counterattack with a short motion or a more sweeping one. Both rubbers are perfectly optimized for counterattacking in any way. With Hurricane, the level of skill required is a bit higher. Now I will summarize my impressions. The developers of Spin Hard have made an excellent rubber for an attacking style of play. It is easier to play with it than with the common European tensor rubbers. More control, easier to hit the table. I compared Spin Hard with Hurricane because Spin Hard is a hybrid rubber, not a tensor. It is harder than the previous version of the rubber without the hard in its name. But it is still not a hard rubber. DHS Hurricane 3 National Orange Sponge 39, that is truly a hard rubber, but not the hardest. Dr. Neubauer Dominant Spin Hard is noticeably softer. And that's why it's easier to play with it compared to Hurricane. I didn't find any drawbacks of Spin Hard. The rubber is excellent. You can use it including for aggressive defense, even if you have an attacking blade. Compared to common tensor rubbers, Spin Hard provides very high control when receiving serves, when pushing, when blocking, in defense. I would also note that it's easy to start an attack against backspin. There is always a desire to add power, add spin, add aggression. There's a pleasant feeling of control over the ball, control over the game. Sticky surface, tensor sponge. This is a good rubber to dominate the opponent. By the way, in our TT Maximum store, we test rubbers and blades and select the best ones for our assortment. And we filter out the mediocre ones. So, come to us more often for purchases. And if you have any questions, you can ask them under this video.